Take a look at 2016 this morning as we get some brand new poll numbers out there that show more slippage for Hillary Clinton. Following the Iowa State Fair, where everybody tries to show their best stuff to the folks of Iowa, Donald Trump is now just 4 points away from Hillary Clinton. This gap has narrowed dramatically between these two candidates over the last couple of months. This is a Quinnipiac poll that we're taking a look at here. But a possible run by Vice President Joe Biden may be the big story of this week. As we look at his numbers, look at how far away he is from Donald Trump, 48 to 40. Doug Schoen is former advisor to President Bill Clinton, and Monica Crowley is the online opinion editor of the Washington Times, and both are Fox News contributors. Welcome.
Hi, Martha.
Doug is in Florida, and Monica's here in the building.
Yep.
Good to see you both this morning. So, Doug,
Good to see you.
You know, if you're a Democrat, you want your candidate to be a winner. So
yes, you do.
How are Democrats assessing that right now when they look at Hillary and Joe?
Well, here's what they're saying. They're saying that Hillary is showing consistent and systematic slippage in the primary polling. She is slipping vis-a-vis both Biden and Bernie Sanders. She is slipping in the general election polling, and her integrity ratings are slipping as well. Sanders has so far held a pretty strong hold on second place, but the Quinnipiac numbers show that with the publicity around the prospective candidacy of the vice president, Biden is going up. Put another way, Martha, there is sheer panic. Newsmax said Bill Clinton is very agitated about Biden. Put another way, bad day in Clinton land.
Yeah, bad day in Clinton land, to be sure. Doug, staying with you for just a moment. They said, you know,
Sure.
What's the first word that comes into your mind when we say Hillary Clinton to you? And, you know, 48% I believe said something like liar. I mean, yeah, that's a problem, Doug.
It is a problem, and Martha, it's been getting worse. We could sugarcoat it. I've worked for the Clintons for a while. I thought the email scandal would go away. Clearly, I was wrong. It's not going away. It's a serious investigation. Monica, in fairness, has been speaking about it, has been speaking about the president's role in facilitating the vice president's prospective candidacy.
Yeah.
And I think Monica has the right to tell me and certainly the audience, told you so.
That so far it looks like you were right, Monica, that this, you know, you believe this has been orchestrated from the White House.
Yeah, I've been arguing for about a month here, Martha, and also in my column in the Washington Times that it's President Obama who is taking her out. I have argued for a long time that under this president, no investigation goes forward unless Barack Obama wants it to go forward. And that's why you're seeing this FBI investigation of her private server, email, mishandling of classified material go forward. He needs to sideline her because he can't control her, he can't control Bill. So he needs a successor whom he can control, but also someone who's not going to investigate the last 8 years. And that would be his Vice President, Joe Biden. So I believe no matter what, the only person who really matters here is the president and what he wants. And what he wants is Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren on this ticket.
Fascinating. Fascinating it is. So let's take a look at some of these other numbers, because we see Hillary Clinton versus, who do we have in this first one here, versus Jeb Bush. 42 to 40. And interestingly, in this poll also, they said to people, what's the first word that pops into your mind when I say Jeb Bush? And they said, Bush, which I found quite interesting. And this is Biden against Bush. He does a bit better against Jeb Bush. Let's take a look at the Rubio matchup for these two possible Democratic candidates. And you see Hillary beats Rubio by only 1 percentage point, well within the margin of error on that one. So that's pretty good news for Rubio. And here's Biden-Rubio. He beats him by 3 percentage points. So, Doug, you know, take us inside the, sort of back halls of the Democratic Party.
Sure.
And, whoever's pulling the puppet strings here, and Monica believes it's the White House, it also is surface. It also feels like Hillary is, she's not having a great time out there. She's not a joyful candidate. Chris Christie was here the other day. He said, she should go out and do a press conference like he did for Bridgegate. Take every single question that comes into that room and beat this thing back with a charm offensive and a reality offensive. Where is that?
Well, she's tried a couple of times, and it hasn't quite worked. And I think, given the investigation that's going on, she is, I think, quite justifiably nervous about making more statements that could be portrayed as inaccurate
but
or
Doug,
worse.
it makes her look like something's wrong, because there was an investigation going on when Chris Christie did that, and he's an attorney and a former prosecutor. He knows the rules of the game and, you know, how you have to be careful. She certainly knows all that, too.
Martha, it hasn't worked out so well for Chris Christie in terms of the presidential polling. He had been one of the top-tier candidates, and clearly he is moving in the wrong direction. And Hillary, I don't think, has had a good day on the campaign trail. I think she's got to change the conversation, talk about why she should be president, rather than just talking endlessly about scandal or hiding from the media. And candidly, there hasn't been much in the way of positive articulation of a program or platform from the Clinton campaign other than I'm Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren Light. And I think she needs an agenda, she needs a program, and she needs to come out fighting on the issues, something she hasn't done yet.
All right, Monica, just take a half a minute here, because you wrote your column about Chris Christie today, and I think everybody's waiting to see if Trump, you know, lasts or doesn't last, and they don't want to throw in the towel unless that question gets answered, right?
Yes, and it may not be answered for a long time. You see these new polls where Trump is just expanding his lead pretty much everywhere. I did talk to Governor Christie this week. My column in the Washington Times today is about that interview. Look, Chris Christie was Donald Trump before there was a political Donald Trump. And I think a lot of these candidates, in particular Governor Christie, but others, feel enormous frustration that they are candidates with actual records of being chief executives in states or being senators with great conservative records, and they can't seem to punch through because Mr. Trump is dominating all of the coverage. But they're trying, and Governor Christie is certainly fighting back.
He sure is. We're going to have very crowded debate stages for quite some time, it appears. Thank you very much, Doug and Monica.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you.
You got it. Thanks.